For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, unto us a son is given.
Reverend, is there anything you don't do around here?
Yeah, well, the school's been looking a little rough around the edges lately, and we thought it'd be nice to clean it up a bit for the new teacher.
Good idea. By the way, did that rattlesnake ever turn up?
As a matter of fact, you're standing on
What?
him right now.
Where? I don't see. Hardy har har. Very funny.
I'm sorry, Marshall. I couldn't resist. Actually, we found Buford wrapped around the base of that table right there.
Wrapped around the base of that table, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have to be more careful the next time I sit at a table from now on.
I'm sure you will. So, any progress finding them bandits?
The bumbling bandits? Sadly not. But I know they're here. I can feel it in my bones.
The only thing I feel in my bones is aches and pains.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, I better be going. Those bandits ain't gonna catch themselves.
All right.
See you
Marshall.
later.
I knew I'd find you here painting and working on your memory verses.
I wanted to get an early start before the sun gets too hot.
Good idea. I brought you some more muffins.
Aw, thanks, sweetheart. So, when does our new teacher arrive? It's Miss Griggs, isn't it?
That's right, Miss Winnie Griggs. She actually arrived on the train just yesterday, all the way from Kentucky. You know, I think the kids are going to love her.
I hope so. A good teacher's worth her weight in gold.
I agree. Now, if we could just find a sheriff.
Well, at least we have the marshal. I just hope he stays through the jamboree. So, have you seen our guests this morning?
No, actually, I haven't. I think they were up early as well.
I was hoping they could help me with some chores on the inside.
Want me to fetch them?
Would you? You know what they say? Many hands make light work.
I'm on my way, Pa.
Let's see. Not too shabby. It'll do for now anyway. Let's see what the back entrance looks like.
Oh, it's going to be a hot one today.
Yeah, I could sure use one of them tall glasses of lemonade.
Where'd they go?
What was that?
Oh, did you say something?
Never mind. You know, it may surprise you, Nettie Zelma, but I wonder about things sometimes. Things like, do dogs lick us 'cause they know we got bones inside? Or, how does a sponge hold water when it's full of holes? I reckon we'll never know. Hey, you want to hear a joke? It's a humdinger. You ready? Why do cowboys ride horses? Give up? 'Cause they're too heavy to carry. Get it?
Would you hush up, Dalton Clyde?
All right, all right.
For crying out loud, Dalton Clyde! I'm trying to think here.
About what, Nettie Zelma? Why on earth are we out here in the middle of the desert walking around aimlessly? It ain't for the exercise, I'm sure.
No, it ain't. I stashed some tools out here, and I'm just trying to remember where I put them, that's all. Oh, this looks familiar. Aha!
So when did you have time to come all the way out here and stash tools? Lockpicks, crowbars, dynamite? Hey, these ain't tools for doing chores. These are tools for thieving.
'Cause we're thieves, remember?
Eddie, Zelma, we can't do this. We shook on it with the Reverend. We made a gentleman's accord.
No, we didn't. And remember, I interrupted your cockamamie handshake, so we ain't breaking no oaths, 'cause we didn't make no oaths.
But
You can thank me later.
But I don't want to break his trust. He's been nothing but kind to us. He sees us as more than just worthless criminals.
'Cause he's a reverend.
Yeah, but he's also suspicious about us. You heard what he said, and here you are proving him right.
I knew you would be hard-nosed about this. That's why you gotta let me do the thinking. Got it? Now listen, tomorrow, everybody's gonna be busy out at the jamboree. Ain't nobody gonna be guarding the bank, 'cause they ain't got no sheriff. Okay? So this is an opportunity of a lifetime, and we can't waste it.
But what about the marshal?
I ain't scared of him.
Well, I don't know.
Listen, let's do one last job, and then we can retire somewhere. We can settle down. I promise.
Yeah, I wish I could believe that.
Morning, folks. Having a little bit of a disagreement over here?
No, sir. Not really, just some verbal sparring with my sister.
Is that so? What you got there?
Just some tools, right, Dalton Clyde?
That's exactly right. Just some tools.
Tools for what?
Oh, they're for,
There you are. I've been looking all over town for you two. Sorry for interrupting, Marshall.
That's all right, Miss Vera. What can we do for you?
Pa wanted me to fetch our friends here to help him with some chores he's been working on at the schoolhouse.
Chores!
That's right. These are for chores.
You see here, Marshall, this here's a crowbar for prying shingles off the roof, and this is a... Oh, well...
Well, that looks like a stick of dynamite to me, son.
That it is, Marshall. It's for, blowing up the junk pile if it gets too big. At least that's the way we do it back home.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure those are the kind of chores Pa had in mind. But anyway, would you mind excusing the siblings, Marshall?
That's all right, Miss Vera. I know your pa's working hard.
Thank you, Marshall.
There's something suspicious about those two.
Little miss, you done squirreled us out of a mighty sticky situation. I don't know what the marshal was gonna do, but it seemed like we was gonna get busted for something.
And would the marshal have a reason to bust y'all? Were you doing something you shouldn't have been doing?
Well, not exactly.
Look, I don't know y'all very well, or what your lives are like outside of Wonder Junction. What I do know is when I'm pulled into a situation where I'm tempted to do something that ain't right, I think of Jesus, and because I love him, I want to do what is right and live for him.
Jesus, that boy we were talking about?
Yeah. But remember, he didn't stay a boy. He grew to be a preacher of sorts and started an amazing ministry when he was around 30 years old. That's about how old y'all are, right?
A lady never tells her age.
Well, anyway. During his ministry, he performed many works and wonders. Even his words were a wonder. After all, he is the one who spoke the universe into existence. And he wanted everyone to know that there is only one God, a God of love and holiness and power.
Yeah, I reckon Jesus, being God, could do some mighty powerful things.
That he could. He had power over sickness and disease. He opened the eyes of the blind and healed sick people that were on death's doorstep. He even brought dead people back to life. He even brought himself back to life.
How'd he do all that? Some sort of trick?
No trick, just God's power. He also had power over nature. He spoke to a storm and it stopped. He walked on water. He fed more than 5,000 people with just 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish, with food left over.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yes, it is. But the power I love to talk about the most is God's power to forgive. When we disobey and sin, God is the one that can and will forgive us if we just ask. Now that is a wonder.
It sure is, Miss Vera.
Well, I suppose we've kept Pa waiting long enough, but I hope I've given you something to think about. Now let's get you inside.
I gotta figure out a way to reel Dalton Clyde back in. All these conversations are filling up his mind with ideas and distracting him from our main objective. Why did we have to cross paths with a reverend?